afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 2, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a Time for Change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, July 3rd, at around 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to address that pre-recorded debate that people watched, and where are things right now, honestly, on this planet for the civilization. Let them throw their curses if inside I am connected to what's true. My soul stays quiet and clear. Do you think God worries what people say? If a few ashes fall in a mirror, use them to polish it. Lala, 14th century North Indian mystic. One of the biggest that I've seen happen to people is their concern on how others view them. Could be what they say, what conversation, whatever. No matter what happens to any of us in this life, remember this one wonderful understanding. You are powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, and truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love, creativity, and pleasure. All this is and more is actually available inside you now. You're like the superstore on the inside. It's like you imagine the most expansive everything in its store on the planet. That of course there isn't one, but imagine that. And you create it. That's what's inside you. Pick and choose. Decide here, do this, do that. Unlimited. To access it, sit in a state of wonder and be in awe of this understanding. Just try it just for a few minutes and see what happens. You might discover some resistance, of course, denial, or perhaps the realization that this amazing fact is already within you. And isn't it interesting that you could say to somebody, and just conversation, say, did you know that wherever you look, wherever you focus your thoughts, wherever you focus your energy, wherever you look, could be in just a room, empty room, right? You might be looking in a corner or a wall, whatever. Wherever you focus, particles form. It's an amazing thing. They form where you're focusing. Doesn't have to be on anything either. Could, like I said, just be blank space. Now, when you look away, those particles disappear. This shows you how supremely powerful each one of us are. So one might say, well, then, why isn't everybody happy? Why isn't everybody just footloose, fancy, free, floating through life, having a great old time? Well, because of the fact that most of us do not know any of this. Zero. You could have the conversation with a bicameral and they could say, oh, yeah, I'm aware of that. Sure, yeah. But superficial. Now, a lot of people to go within you're just making that statement. You go within. Find what's in there. Find out what's in there. And a lot of people say, no, I'm going to go within. I'm not going in there. Why not? Because I don't know what I'm going to find. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty scared about doing that. You see how that ego mind works? Now, some of us will say, heck yeah, I'm going within. I doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to find everything out about me within here. I'm going within. So we encounter these blocks, right? Each block that we encounter in this life is our greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of our most enlightened self. It's like you could be around somebody that no matter what you do to temper it, you can't stand them. You can't stand being around them. But the positive thing about that is that it motivates or generates your direction and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this. And then you're thankful that that being was there, and because if that being had been there, you wouldn't have done that. So these things are our greatest catalyst to diving into a deeper experience of our most enlightened self. Every experience we have as human beings contains a doorway to this divine state. All that's needed is to look for the door, reach out for that golden handle, and walk on through. Most people won't do that, though. They'll sit there for lifetimes staring at that handle. Now, there's nothing as easy and fulfilling as entering this phenomenal paradise that is within our very being. It's easiest to discover this warm, fuzzy feeling inside when we are alone, in nature, quiet, looking within ourselves for many hours. To arrive at this place means letting go of the hectic outer world. Put away the busy, overly productive to-do list. Devote to spend some solid quality time with you. Whatever is stopping you from making time for yourself is blocking you from experiencing the most tremendous freedom, love, and joy. And it is always up to each one of us. And up to anybody else. So it's almost like you're being invited to let go of your life. Emotionally, mentally, intentionally loosen your grip, relax into your true self. That's it. That's how it operates. Now, it's your decision to make to do that. Not half-ass, but all the way. Not overly so. Now here you will find this powerful, beautiful, and extraordinary high vibrational being, the real you. Letting go is not easy. It isn't easy to let go at first, especially when we are used to spending our lives living like a closed, just like a vice grip, right, on life. So you practice loosening or losing the grip on your life. Do it for at least an hour every day. You might be pleasantly surprised how much you look forward to this time. Fact is that you are worth it. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what you see is seeing you. Maybe not always clearly. Yet we can only see aspects of ourselves. Our entire self is too huge, too amazing, and magnificent to digest in just one sitting. It's like you can look back at your day and remember most of what happened, yet try and look back on your entire life and even past lifetimes and digest everything in the same detailed manner. You are much bigger than the mind can anywhere near conceive. This is an unknown quote statement, but it's really good for people to really look at about themselves as far as trust, confidence, and faith. When you come to the edge of the light, and are about to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing one of two things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. That applies to all of us. To start feeling a fraction of just how amazing you truly are, begin with letting go of any limiting beliefs. Those are the doubts. That's the good old ego mind coming in. Limiting beliefs that arise about you, about yourself. Now, if and when you think you're too nice, too old, too fat, too ugly, too poor, you know what those are? Those are old, boring stories and excuses. And to go even further, they're just tiny electrons passing through the brain, making you believe you're in some prison. Realize these are all just thoughts passing through your consciousness in each moment. That's all. Thought is not, it's just a thought until you give it power. You can choose to pay attention, like we do, or you to the good ones or the bad ones. It's totally up to you. But you get a feeling, and so you know you're mastering, okay? Because when you get this feeling, and this, of course, all of us, none of us are exempt from embracing some of these thoughts that aren't ours, bringing them into our reality, and then experiencing them. But you start to pick up through the heart mind that, nope, that is not a thought that I even care to engage in. And it passes through, it goes away. And you might have like 100 of those or more a day that do that. And that's not a thought I would choose to engage with. And it passes by. So you're not ignoring it, you acknowledge it. But you just say, okay, this passed through me or passed by. Now, when a thought comes by that you go, wow, this is a good one, you embrace it, of course. You move it into form, bring it into your reality, and experience it. You're the master. Most of us have, because of our programming, which can easily, after a certain period of time, be reprogrammed. You can break free from any negative or limiting beliefs running around in your mind by surrendering to loving you. Trust in the feeling of love. Believe that love is the way. Notice how it feels to be a bit more gentle and kind with yourself. What does it feel like to accept all your parts? All of them. Good, the good ones, not so good, and the bad ones. Real love is deep and eternal. Has no reason why it loves. It just constantly sends out gentle energy, working its magic and healing all parts of you every time. There is nothing more powerful and transformational than love. Deep, eternal love. Now, when you devote your day to loving you, being gentle with you, something very magical occurs. You start to feel the love that is already inside you now. Deep inside your soul is the infinite source of love. The energy of God, source, absolute consciousness. Whatever name you place on it, the energy is the same. It is creating your experience of reality in every millisecond of your life. And it is the most benevolent, brilliant, and loving source there ever will be. Everyone on this planet is all on this sacred spiritual journey together. This life is for our enjoyment, transformation, spiritual growth, and eventually our enlightenment. We are here to enlighten the load from our past, let go of all the heaviness we've been carrying for a lifetime. Whatever has been burdening, blocking, or frustrating to us is not real. Very instant we clearly see what is real, then everything changes instantaneously. There is a great relief inside as we no longer have to fight or resist anything in this life anymore. The war is over. We can see the truth and accept that which we believed was totally unacceptable about ourselves is then that our greatest joy and freedom begins to settle in. Now, there's nothing you can do to make a wrong turn in this life. Everything is part of your destiny. On an infinite highway where everything is connected, all lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination. You might be off here, off there. Millions of us in different, like branching out like a tree, but the tree's connected. And we all end up in the same place. On an infinite highway where everything is connected, all lanes eventually reach the same infinite destination. So when people say, well, I really messed my life up, you can't. You can't mess your life up. Really. Everything in your life is going the way it's going because you have created it. Letting go, that vice grip, just pressing down constantly, not letting go. You release it inside yourself. You relax deeply. You find out that you are powerful, beautiful, and truly extraordinary. On those days, when you feel that you've made a wrong turn in your life, where you got in trouble or not yielding to the other, where you had an unconscious moment smashed into someone, it may feel like everything is lost. Maybe you were driving with one foot on the brake and the other foot on the gas, mainly looking backwards in the rearview mirror. The secret here is forgiveness. Let go of whatever mistakes you've made in your life. They are last year's movie. Just observe the judgments of these movies about yourself without participating in that judgment. And you welcome the experience of whatever your great error was and accept that it was a lesson teaching you something deeper about yourself and this life. By welcoming whatever judgments are showing up about yourself, the judgment-aholic inside gets to step down from its pedestal. And a hint of clarity somehow naturally finds its way in. A glimmer of lightness finds its way into the deepest, darkest night of the soul. When you truly experience judgment for whatever it has to say, without holding on to any story about it, this universe has to present itself to you with full clarity. So my invitation for you this week is this: not resist any experience that life gives you. Welcome all the good, bad you see inside you. Yet give some extra special attention to that part of you that is powerful beyond measure, beautiful beyond words, truly an extraordinary being who has access to unlimited love. Any resistance is futile. It just makes you contract from life and get even more emotionally knotted up inside. You must resist an experience in this life. Be at least conscious about it. Know that this is your choice. There's always another way to experience who you are. Do this for 1 week, and a relaxing, freeing feeling will move on in. Try just the process. Do the process. Trust it. Let go and surrender to what is deeper and already at peace on the inside. There is no beginning or ending. The journey is journey to nowhere. You do not start from somewhere, and you do not end at anywhere. You are where you are, and you continue from there. Bodhidharma. A lot of times we're taught that there's always an ending and a beginning. Well, the journey is never ending. So you move from one chapter to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Now, for some people, that might be an ending. Others, it's just a continuation. We are here to master ourselves. And that means since we get into these bodies, we have a whole boatload of things to master. We have our thoughts. We have our ego mind. We have all the emotions and everything that these bodies breathe out. Breath out. And we do know that more and more so, which is really exciting, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. And it's, like I said, when you match that frequency of the reality you want, you cannot help but get that reality. So in other words, if you're miserable with yourself, you will continue to create a miserable reality. That's it. It's in every one of our hands. Now, some people will get even more miserable because they're miserable knowing that they're miserable about things they look at themselves and judge, which means that they continue into those lower frequencies. Now, superficially, one can mask that quite easily. But sooner or later, it bubbles to the surface and is expressed. And a lot of people live that way, but that's their choice. There's really no other way. this universe we live in is more intelligent than that mind, that illusional mind, ego mind can comprehend. There's countless hidden dimensions to everything and everyone within it. We truly exist in the most fascinating, multidimensional, and infinitely mysterious field of conscious, intelligent energy. This divine harmonic matrix is vibrating with life all around us. It is inside us. It is constantly connecting with our every breath, thought, motion, heartbeat. Look around you. Everything is constantly exploding, really in an orgasm of wild, unabandoned creativity. Think about it. Millions of flowers are blossoming, giving birth to the most amazing sights and scents. Amazing, sacred, geometric crystals right in this very now moment are forming perfect patterns beneath this Earth's crust, while millions of animals, birds, insects, and humans are having intercourse in the most interesting positions. This is just the tiny tip of the iceberg as to all the wild, mysterious, and beautiful things happening on this planet right now. When and if you choose to observe nature long enough, you will see everything is always changing, including you. Everything changes. Every split second. We take things for granted, so we don't notice the change much. Now, if you were to leave someplace, right, gone for years and years and years and years, and then you're reminiscing, say, I wonder what it would be like to just kind of take a trip back there for a few days and see it. And so you do that, you go back and go, wow, this place has really changed. Then you notice. But when you're in it, not really. If you took a microscope and looked into the DNA inside every cell in your body, you would see that they all contain a sacred imprint that is unique to you only. Each quantum particle of your DNA is this wild and uncharted, magnificent, intelligent mystery within it. This mysterious intelligence is embedded within the foundation of your blood, bones, and brain. You cannot escape from it, no matter how much you try. What's interesting is that the mind tends to take for granted this sacred mystery every day. The mind has this tendency to create habits, fall into these little comfort zones of thought, safe, emotional thought patterns. It finds ideas which label this life, placing ourselves and others into tiny compartmentalized little thought boxes so we can feel more secure, self-assured, somewhat organized, standing in the face of this wild, uncharted, infinite mystery that's surrounding us in all directions. And the moment we put anything in this divine existence into a thought box, we forgot all about enjoying a state of devotion and worship to this divine mystery. The instant we forget about the great mystery of this life, we initiate the suffering process. Every experience of this life thereafter becomes a challenge, as we live from the head and not from the heart. Mind is a master at continuously getting lost and believing all its inner thought structures are real. When our intellect holds tight onto fixed beliefs, it thinks life will feel more manageable, giving the illusion of control and the sensation that we are becoming wiser. Yet this hard-coded know-it-all mindset demolishes our childlike curiosity and abolishes any form of reverence for this deeply sacred divine mystery. One of the greatest mysteries that I believe any of us have ever discovered, if you have yet, you will, in this life is the human psyche. What is that? What is the human psyche? It is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we have adopted and inherited as our own. It's really important that we understand that. The human psyche is the accumulation of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions that we've adopted and inherited as our own. Now, all these beliefs, from the entire experience of ourselves, other people, this world, and our entire reality, the way we think, how we think, why we think this way and not that way, is the core network of our psyche. And it makes us believe more like predictable machines than a live cosmic organism and organisms. The human psyche, however, has a magical side to it, in that whatever we accept as the truth becomes what we actually manifest physically into our lives. Now, this may be one of the most awesome mysteries mankind has to explore. Our foundational belief structure is so powerful, pervasive, and penetrating that it always manifests itself in every single possible outcome and experience we have. This universe always supports whatever you believe. If deep down you believe that you're not a lovable person, this universe will constantly manifest for you the most challenging people, negative situations, and experiences that support this belief inside. If you truly believe you are lovable, then of course this universe will slather your life with sweet, loving beings devoted to caring about you, honoring you, caring for your needs in the most intimate, vulnerable ways. Now, this intelligent universal energy simply follows thought. Whatever you believe about you is where the energy flows and manifests into the entire show all around you. And of course, we're in this, as some people believe, a highly technological age. And people tend to believe science easier than spirituality. Now, it's like, if you can prove God is real in a lab, then it must be true, right? What's fascinating about this time frame in our lives is that the quantum physicists of this world have ventured so deep into particles that they have had to merge their scientific understanding with a spiritual content. See, at one time, science and spirituality were one. And then they were broken apart to separate. Now, their practical Newtonian, speaking of the scientists, vocabulary doesn't have the words to explain the outrageous results they are finding. They're having to use more spiritual words and concepts to bridge the understanding of these hard-coded scientific results. And they created throughout the ages that science has a fear of spirituality. That's why when I say, wherever you are focusing on, whatever you're looking at, whenever, you're creating particles, energetic particles. And since everything's an illusion, it's pretty darn good, isn't it? That everything around us is an illusion, but look how we operate. And thoughts are actual physical measurable things. Because the immensity of understanding that we create everything in our lives, to know that deeply is profound. Not only to know it, but to master it. It's huge. Unprecedented. Now, we as a civilization really have done a lot in the material physical world. I mean, we've lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Some of us have learned more than others, but there's no race, like I always say. And we're moving towards the 22nd century. You see, the spirituality and relationship between mystic and scientists were separated over 500 years ago. Now it's coming all back together. It's the same with astrology and astronomy. Were both one hundreds of years ago. Now they're coming back, and then they separated. Now they're coming back together. When we stop, and it is our inherent curious nature to want to put labels on things, people, ourselves, create a universal law of attraction that will solve this great manifesting mystery of this life. We think that if we have a more concrete global understanding of this life, then we can relax, rest even deeper into our spiritual nature. Perhaps only a fool would believe that we need something external to let go and relax internally. Why would we need to feel inferior to being one with Mother Nature just so as to push away our insecurity and strive towards a need to feel superior? This human psyche, as I've mentioned, is the greatest mystery of them all. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. An easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath rising and falling. There are no accidents or coincidences in this world. Nothing is by chance. It is all a reflection, indication, expression, and manifestation of your body-mind's vibration. Your vibration is determined by the thoughts and feelings you choose to experience, which are also being sent out into this universe. Your body-mind is like a massive tower. It's emitting a personal signature, energy, which is constantly being received by this universe. Positive feelings, thoughts create easy, healing, and satisfying experiences, while negative thoughts, feelings attract situations that leave us with a dark, lonely, and impoverished experience. For today, hold your attention on the most powerful vibration there is, love. Start by tuning your radio tower so it's working at 100% by practicing self-love. Love yourself no matter what happens today. This commitment releases all negative possible accidents from entering your vibrational field. You'll win every battle with pain, poverty, and failure. Imagine what it will be like to be self-loving and self-accepting for the next 24 hours. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, July 3, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest, high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of purest, purest, eternal gratitude at all times. Open your heart and let the magic flow in.